man.
The worst thing they can say is their price.
That's true.
Man, they film.
That's what they do for.
They do this for real.
For a job. Yeah. Corey Terry. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Corey Terry,
Yeah.
Tubo, David. It's a lot of. We're supposed to try to get Greg. Oh, we are recording.
We are
Okay.
recording. Duh.
Okay.
It's just
So
regular
what we- what I'm about to
conversation.
say, what we opening up with today?
Well, we were opening, but you ruined it
I
with
did ruin it with the.
Yeah. So
with the-
anyway, anybody watch that Tyler Perry movie on Netflix?
I did. It was fantastically.
Did you
bad.
watch it, Kareem?
No, I saw the haircuts and I was like, I couldn't do it.
Okay, I saw that haircut. I was like, "What is this? Is this Boomerang?"
Right.
I was like, "It's not.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
Don't talk about
It's
it.
bad in
Tyler
a
Perry
good
like
way,
that.
though. Like, it's bad. Like, I think everybody should get together, have a nice little Tyler Perry watch party. What the one thing people were saying, people were like, "Oh, I don't hear y'all talk bad about white films like this."
We
I was
do.
like, "No, I do." Then they was like, "I don't hear y'all disparage like Belly like that." I said, "No, I
We do.
talk trash about Belly all the time."
It's one of my favorite movies.
Belly has one of the greatest opening scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's also a bad movie.
That's a terrible
But I
movie.
love to watch it. Every
Yeah,
single
sure.
time it come on, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm about to watch this thing.
It's a terrible movie.
It don't make no sense.
We did a podcast on how bad it was.
We did a whole thing.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
Nas and T-Boz, their scene should go down as some of the worst dialogue ever that I've ever seen. But I was like, yo, that opening scene is fantastic.
It is.
Those clips are fantastic. Him going to Jamaica is fantastic.
Yeah, that was epic.
Speaking of good movies and people traveling, though, Bad Boys. Bad
You saw
Boys
that?
3, great.
Yeah. You saw it too, Kareem?
I saw it.
And
man.
I'm one of those people that
I
did not.
probably will see it tonight.
Did you like 2?
I like 2, yeah.
See, I liked 1. 2 was like when Michael Bay gets too much money
Yeah.
and the military starts giving him too much stuff, he just be like, yo, I don't care what the script says. Like, we were talking about that earlier. Like, Transformers is where the military was like, here, you can have all this. He's like, I don't care what the story is. Like, I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this tomahawk. We're going to use this. I got this robot. I'm going to do this.
I got
I'm going to
these
do that.
fighter jets.
And they're like, yeah. They're like, why are we going underneath the ocean? He's like, because we have a submarine. Like, you need to write it in the script.
Damn.
So that's how I felt Bad Boys 2 was. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, dog, y'all are invading Cuba. But 3
Yeah.
got a story.
It is.
Like,
Wow.
three has a story. I believe in Will Smith where he was like, they were like, yo, he don't want to do it until the script come together. I believe in the man. Like, a script came together. He got a good story. It's just, it's well acted. I liked it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a positive thing.
Bad Boys 3. Go
Bad
see
Boys
it.
3.
So go see Bad Boys 3. Go see Tyler Perry, Fall from Grace.
Black movies. That's what we watching.
That's what we're watching.
So one of them's good, one of them's bad.
But isn't that great that we're at a point in life where we can have like the really good and the mediocre?
That's true.
That's what we wanted.
That's all we wanted.
I said, yo,
We
I
just
go
want
see
to
a
be
good
treated
bad,
equal.
but I said it's nice to see a good bad.
It's
black
nice to
film.
see it, yeah.
You know what I mean,
That's
nothing
true.
wrong with that.
I mean, it's not like, name me one good Tyler Perry film.
What are you talking about?
Dun,
Daddy,
dun,
dad,
dun.
no, we're not gonna do that. Daddy's Little Girls.
Yeah.
That was good.
Daddy's Little Girls was good. Family That Prays.
Daddy's
was good.
Little Girls was good, or was Stringer Bell just amazing in anything that he does?
The playoff of Stringer Bell versus his.
Let's just call him what's his real name?
Who's angry woman that from Why Did I Get Married?
Yeah.
She was good in it.
Yeah.
Oh, Why Did I Get Married?
Oh,
That
I
was
forgot
good.
that was his movie.
Why Did I Get Married was
That
good.
is.
So you got Family That Prays, Why Did I Get Married, Daddy's Little Girls. There's another one. I could have sworn there was another one, but
Why you think of it?
I'm not gonna say Tyler don't make good stuff.
Nah, I'm a big Tyler Perry fan. You know, I told you, like,
You watch the
yeah,
TV
I watch
shows.
the TV shows and all that stuff. I like, I
TV
just,
shows
I like,
ain't good to me.
I like making fun of the stuff, but I'll be like,
Yeah.
I support him. I'll be
Yeah.
like, I'll support him before you at the studio when y'all was like Tyler Perry trash. I'm like, it's funny.
And now he's got a studio.
Yeah,
Where
it's
nobody
100.
works but him because he writes all the scripts.
Hey man, he gonna hire more people. That's just what it is.
I feel like he will.
It is.
I feel like that was
It's
like a
good.
setup.
It's black excellence. Black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Houston down to my socks. Once again, it's Avery Like a Very Nice Guy, also known as Carlton Banks. Carlton with a KBA and triple X. Yay. Carlton with a KBA and triple X. Also, we have the co-host, the man that is on the far right of me, my brother, Jess Devon, also writing for the Houston Press. Going to that Roddy Ricch concert tonight. That's
well,
how we
now
get
we just
down.
dating the episode.
Well,
But
we already
yeah,
dated
bro,
the
right.
episode
We
with
did
the
date
stuff,
the episode.
so
You're right.
it is
You're
what
right.
it is. What it is.
This might
Yeah.
not come out till the summer. Nah, it's coming
No,
out.
I'm about to say. I was like, we both looked at you. And when we
like,
say
yeah.
both, we got a special guest with us today. The founder, the creator of the awesome clothing line, A Herd of Bison. You've heard of them. Kendrick Lamar likes it. Golly, how'd I just forget? I don't watch sports, so. Yeah. But I'm like, yo, no. A lot of the first thing I saw. What is his name? We just talked about him. Friend of the show, bam.
Jack Freeman.
Jack Freeman had
Jack
those
Freeman.
moccasins
He had
on.
the moccasins on.
My goodness. Like a clothing line like A Herd of Bison that has amazing streetwear. Like, I mean, we have Kareem Daay with us. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy to be here.
Beard God Kareem Daay. Look at that beard. It looks more amazing in person.
It's better when I get out the shower.
Better when you get out the shower. It is what it is. So you're an engineering specialist by day,
For sure.
and you're also a designer by night.
Definitely.
How, like, that's amazing.
Let's go back then.
Yes.
How long you been designing?
I'd have to say since I was in middle school. Yeah, I would say that like
Because this goes on
Yeah.
like when we would ask around. Like, I mean, we want to go. Let's go back all the way. I mean, exclusive doofus. I'm talking about way before that. So let's talk. We talk about middle school. You're from where? Are you from?
I was born in Philadelphia, but I'm from Houston, man. I moved here middle school and
If you move here in middle school, you're from here.
yeah,
That's true.
That's just all that
Houston
matters.
That's
how
my
it
home,
is.
man.
When people be like, "Oh, he's not," I'm like, he came here in middle school. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
people
what
be
I
like,
know.
"Oh, he wasn't here in third grade." I'm like, "You weren't doing nothing
No.
in third grade." Like, what was you
Even if
doing?
you get here, if you come here as a freshman
like you
in
was
high
run-
school,
that's what I'm saying. Like you
you're
was
from
running
Houston.
these streets as
Yeah.
an 8-year-old. Like you're
Yeah.
fine. 8-year-olds everywhere live the same life, pretty much. So
sure.
you came from Philly, you moved down here, middle school, and then you just started designing. Like what tell us what. Tell us
Yeah,
what
man. I
happened.
always had like an itch for like just footwear, stuff like that. So I would sketch sneakers, and I wasn't really into like the other mediums like apparel, as far as like top pieces and pants and stuff like that. But footwear, I was always into that. So I would sketch and just create shoes and say these will come out in 2000 or 19, I think I did one. It was like it was supposed to come out in like 1999. Blah blah blah.
Oh, okay.
So I still got those sketches, but yeah, I was into that, and then it kind of just metamorphed into getting into like the fashion part, and then like going into high school, I was like the guy that had the put the bandana and the Gucci on like the Air Force Ones for everybody.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So I'd make a little bit of money for me and my brother to eat lunch every day.
That's
Stuff
awesome.
like that. So yeah.
Your brother who still sticks with you to this day. To this
It's my
endeavor.
right hand.
Yeah.
For sure.
Your muscle, yeah.
For sure.
That's what's up.
Now, what was it about? Well, I guess what was it that was attracting you to shoes more than any other medium in terms of fashion?
Well, I mean, I just always had a thing for it. I mean, just a shoe is very intimate. Like people like look at their shoes and like for instance, like it's hard to give up real estate. Okay, so like I heard a Bison did the moccasin, right? So it's hard to give up real estate on a person like on their shoe and on their foot, on their feet, opposed to like their chest. Like a person will buy a hoodie from you because it's like it's a hoodie, it's cool.
That's true.
But you're very like particular about the shoes that you wear, and it's
That's true.
It like so, I'm like that too. So
Uh-huh.
like on the other side of it, like just being a consumer, like I'm just really, I take that very serious and stuff like that. So I've always just been a shoe person, all types. I don't have like a particular one. I like everything, but that was just my thing since a little kid.
Mm-hmm. And that's interesting about. So you're right. The real estate market in terms of a shoe is going to be a lot more difficult to break into.
For sure.
In terms of that. So you want to start, because most people, I mean, shoot, even 50 Cent started out with hoodies and T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like most people want to start out the T-shirt route and branch their way out. And a lot of these fashion brands will start off with T-shirts and hoodies and never even get to shoes. because it's such a particular thing to get into. So, what was your thinking when you're saying like, yo, I want to start with shoes?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I never like looked at anything as a cap, so I never looked at it like, man, I can't do that. That was just like a matter of time before like that resource met up with me, and then I created. So the unorthodox approach of like you should do hoodies first and then do shoes. Like I never even looked at it like that. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, and you know it's obviously once you try to turn everything into a business, it's not as easy to like to grasp people, and you got to do it the right way. But we release it, and if people want the shoe, they get it. But it's a matter of time before like that catches up with people, and then you say, oh, okay, they got a moccasin too. Like I didn't get that. But the moccasin came early on, man, like early.
How early we talk? I mean, we're talking about you went through middle school and high school, and you're kind of getting into the designs and everything. When do you say, all right, like I want to make a fashion brand, or I want to brand myself out there?
Yeah, so everything kind of like really after high school, I started designing jackets for myself.
Okay.
Like varsity jackets. I didn't get a varsity in high school because I didn't play sports. I played sports, but not high school sports. I boxed, so I wasn't gonna get like a varsity. You know, like people
because
get
there's
Weren't
no
gonna let her
there's
in
no
anything.
boxing
yeah,
team.
you know, I was like that guy that like you know it was cool, but it was like I'm not gonna be going to games and stuff like that. But because I was really consumed with that, so I always wanted one. But I was like, okay, well I'll design my own. So like after that, I started just doing stuff on my own, and I would just kind of like deconstruct the piece. So I would get like a varsity jacket and like take the sleeve off and add a different pattern to it, freak out the inside and add a patch to it and stuff like that. So after like wearing them around the city, people were just like, hey, like where'd you get that jacket from?
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I mean, me. Like I just made it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, you want to sell it? I'm like, nah. So like I turned down probably like four offers on the jacket that I designed, and then one day, a guy by the name of Eve, you all probably know him.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, he was like, Kareem, I need this jacket, and he like talked to me for a while. Like he was just like, I need that. I was like, you know what, dog, I'm gonna give it to you. Like it's
He's a
cool.
fly guy.
Yeah.
So no wonder.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I gave it to him, and then that's when I was like, you know, maybe this could be like, people just ask him. I did a couple more, and people just wanted to buy them. Like, okay, well, I think this could probably be like a thing, you know. I didn't know what type of thing. I just knew like, okay, people want something that I'm designing and that I'm creating. But I had no business like IQ. Like I was just like, okay, I would create something and then people would practically like get shit for free from me. Like, like man, let me give you like $10 for it. I'm like, all right, that's cool, because I wasn't really concerned with like the monetary like aspect of it. It was just like people just accepting like my art. And I was like,
Getting
that's
your
cool.
ideas out.
Yeah.
Were you in college at this time or high school or what?
Yeah, I was in college. Yeah, I was.
You were in college.
Mm-hmm.
Undergrad?
Nah, man. My route is crazy, man. I like to tell my story about how like.
Do it now.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I've never told it like on air, you know, anything like that. But like, it was a very unorthodox approach. So like most people like, you know, had that. I come out of high school and then like I jump right into college and do my 4 years and all that. Like my approach wasn't like that. I was boxing like since I moved here.
Okay.
So my father had me in boxing, and I was like trying to go to the Olympics. I wasn't even concerned about like. Really, I mean, I knew school was like there, but my parents they didn't have like the experience with like sending a kid through college. And plus, it was like my brother and I, so we were the same age.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, we kind of had to figure it out ourselves. But I was just really into boxing, and that was my life. So from outside of designing and then going to tournaments, trying to qualify for Olympic trials and stuff like that, that's what I was on. So when I got out of high school, it was around the time where, you know, I was trying to make the Olympic team and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, it's cool, man. I'm gonna go to college, but like I don't really know what I'm gonna do. So from then I was at TSU at that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from there, I started going, and then I just stopped going, and then I stopped boxing.
Dang, man, why?
Man, it was just I did it for so long, and like my father, he was, and if he listens to this interview, like I've never told him that, told him this, but he was a promoter and a manager, and I saw like both sides of it, like of the game. I saw like the horrible side,
Yeah.
like, and I saw like the glory side because some of the fighters that he had like won world championships and stuff like that. So like that was cool, but like behind the scenes and like it's not that rewarding. And I just thought like I was like, okay, I need like something else because, you know, this is really not. It's really a losing sport. I love it to death, and I'm the biggest boxing fan, and I go to all the fights and watch every fight, but it just wasn't as rewarding. I just felt like it wasn't something that I wanted to keep investing my time in, and then with the slim chances of you like becoming like a world champion, and even if you become a world champion, like that doesn't mean that you're like gonna be wealthy. Like
yeah. Boxing is just one of those things where it's like the personality winds up pumping people. Like you got to get number one, and then you have to have a personality draw.
Yeah,
you could be the number one boxer, and everybody be like, I don't care.
Right.
Exactly. It's like, yo, they're like, no, this dude is like pound for pound the best. They're like, yeah, but he not
Floyd, he not
Deontay. Yeah.
To this day, that's everybody knows Deontay.
Right. Exactly. And it's like, it's the personality a lot of times that breaks out and gets people because they're like, yo, because it's not even people don't watch boxing like that. Like, the majority of people that they're appealing to are just like, yo, I watch the stuff that, myself included, I watch the stuff that floats up to the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
I don't look at the underneath.
Tyson Fury.
So I can't tell you too much about the world. So you decided at a certain point, you're like, yo, this is not. And your dad said,
my pops, I mean, he was cool with it. Like, to be honest with you, he knew that I had like talent. I was talented, but he knew the entire game, and he knew like, okay, hey man, like that's cool. Like this, like, yeah, we could probably do something with this, but man, you got to be smart about this. So he wasn't really concerned. He would get on me about going to the gym and stuff like that, but when I told him like, you know, this is really a wrap, like I'm gonna try to like pursue something else, he was like, that's cool. He like really supported me because he understood what it was. I just saw too many people just take losses. I saw people go from having it to losing it. I was exposed to so much, which was good, but it just made me like be a little bit more smarter, and like, so I decided to like, my father, outside of that, like doing managing and promoting, he worked in plants. So he was like, look, man, at that point I had stopped doing everything, and then I had a job where I was like traveling like around the United States, which it was fun because I was young and all that, but I knew that was dead end too. It's like, all right, I gotta like do something serious. So he was like, man, look, and my father just was a person, like he had everything that a man could imagine, like a hardworking man, you know. So I never seen him miss a beat on anything, and anything that he wanted, he got. And I knew that, okay, the route that he went, that's safe. And he was encouraging me to like, hey man, why don't you try to work in the plants? You know, you can do this, that, and the third. And I was like, okay. So I stopped. I stopped traveling, went to school. I went to Houston Community College, man. And this is something that's important, man. If we got like young kids like listening and stuff like that, I like to preach this. But I went to Houston Community College and got the little degree that it's like a 2-year degree to be able to work in the plants.
Yeah.
Worked in the plants. I got an internship with Shell. Realized that wasn't what I wanted to do because that was just like so offshore, like it's just crazy. Like, and then I went back to school. I was like, okay, well I'm gonna go ahead and just go to U of H and get a engineering like degree. So 2 years in, well I was already 2 years in, but like my third year, a company named BP came to the school and was like, I was taking classes and it was like, look, and I was already in debt from going to TSU anyway. Yeah. And then paying, I was like, they was like, hey, if you come work if you come intern with us, we'll pay for your school. And I was like,
bet.
What? But I had to qualify to get the internship though. So it wasn't like it's like just apply and then like, whatever. And so I ended up getting the internship, and this is the crazy part. I interned, but I competed in like this it's called Technofest, and it's a competition with engineers, geologists, and different mediums of like the oil and gas industry, and it's like you have a contest to like you have to present something and you have to have a case and like show like different things that you're working on, and it has to like qualify like in certain categories, and it was like hundreds. So as an intern, which I thought it wasn't anything major, I placed third in the whole company. It's not number one or even number two, so I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, but they looked at it like, hey man, this dude placed third as an intern with like full-time like employees that we have. Something's going on. We need this guy. So
third
was
place
like,
is a great place.
it's a great place, but when
Yeah.
you're looking at it like, okay, I was happy that I placed, but I was just like,
Got that boxing mentality. Win or
you
lose.
It wasn't- yeah, it was-
win or lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it wasn't number one, right?
Mhm.
So anyway, they was like, look, man, you here? You got like year and a half, 2 years left. Man, we want to bring you on like just full time. And I was like shocked, like, hold on, so y'all telling me y'all want to bring me on, like, and I'm like, and I was questioning, but I didn't want to question too much because I'm like, I don't want them to change their mind, like,
Yeah.
like. So anyway, so they brought me on, man, and I never even finished, but I ended up just going on with BP, and then from BP with that experience, I was there for 8 years, and then transferred over to another job, and that's where I'm at now, man. So I always tell people like, it's different ways to get to it, depending on what your goal is, A lot of people don't just think that it's a streamline, like what they see, what people tell you, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Really, man, it's ways to get to it. You just gotta just be diligent and know how to get to it. Really.
That's good.
Now, while all this is going on, are you still like feeding that design or artistic aspect, or do you just kind of like, all right, let me just handle this and I get back into it later?
100%, man. Every day, like that's what I was doing on the side. So in between all that time, Exclusive Doofus manifested. That's like when the whole jacket thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then still sketching my shoes, still doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Exclusive Doofus did what it did. But
So,
I
Yeah, tell us about Exclusive
Tell us what
Doofus,
Exclusive
please.
Doofus. So for people that don't know, so what was Exclusive Doofus?
Exclusive Doofus was a brand that I had in the beginning. It was just, man, this was probably like 10 years ago, maybe. And
Actually, we're showing one of the ads now.
yeah,
This
wow,
is the
look
ad.
at that.
This is like an early ad. So,
Yeah.
But I also want to show this because you get to see, this is like one of your first kind of clothing brands.
Yeah.
And you
Marketing
get to see
stuff. It's
the video of the marketing and
creative.
everything. This is creative.
Yeah.
This is,
This
I
is
mean,
very
this is
The
creative.
quality is horrible, man. But
Oh,
yeah.
the
quality is
the quality
is trash.
but
Yeah.
you're talking about like going back, like
What is this? 09, 07?
Man, this shit was from, I don't even know.
Yeah,
man.
that's like, I'm like, it's back then, but still, like, you could see how creative you are, but you're an engineer. You deconstruct stuff. Your brain works like that. Like, that's just
so.
what
Yeah,
it is.
I'm about to say. So Exclusive Doofus. That's your. So tell us about the brand, where it comes from, where the name comes from, the catchy name, everything.
Man, it was that was something, like I said, I did years ago, and it was like my first attempt at trying to like turn, I guess, the gift or whatever you want to say into like a business.
Okay.
And I was getting more of the push from people on the outside rather than myself. So it was a fun run. We made a statement, and a lot of people referenced some of the things that we did with Exclusive Doofus to this day. But it was like a learning experience, man, for the most part, man. But Exclusive Doofus, the name, I got the name when I was in Cozumel like years ago on a cruise, and you know how they do like the little bracelets with it, they knit them or whatever. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And the person that was doing it asked me like, what name do you want? And the first name I thought of, I was just like Exclusive Doofus. I don't even know where that shit came from, like, but it was. But what it means though is, just being exclusive in your own right and like having your own identity and like regardless of what people say. So
Yeah.
so that's kind of like how that manifested. And Exclusive Doofus came to an end when I realized that I needed to get like logistically sound, like with everything that I was doing as far as like the fashion stuff. Like I was very sloppy with not product but like the behind the scenes part of it. So it was like, okay, I need to go back to the drawing board, take put everything on pause and like create something that's a lot more serious and a lot more mature that could grow. Exclusive Doofus with the name and everything, which was a blessing, and we have traction from it, but it just wasn't one of those things that I felt like that could go to the next level, because it was just like a young version of myself, whereas like a Herd of Bison is like the more mature, like grounded and logistically sound version of myself.
I mean, it's got that name. Like, it's like, even FUBU. The name was only going to take it so far. When they started making suits, it was like, I'm not going to buy this. Right. Like, I'm not. But I'm like, it was only, even though that, you said what?
You didn't want a FUBU suit?
Never wanted a FUBU suit.
Never?
Even that exclusive Doofus shirt you have on your website, that's dope.
The skull?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That is dope.
That's one of my favorite shirts, actually.
I could understand. It's like, I'm planning on buying that tonight.
What's the semblance? Because Exclusive Doofus, I went to the original Exclusive Doofus website, and then I went to the Herd of Bison, the pig head. What
is? Yes, for real.
What's going on with the pig head?
And y'all went back.
Yes. Oh yeah, we went back.
Yeah, the pig, man. It was just something that a lot of people just look down upon the pig, man. With the swine, whether you eat it or how it's this bottom feeder, scavenger, stuff like that. So we just took it and like embraced it and like put it on a pedestal, so to speak, and put it in the form of like have like the insignia of like the brand Exclusive Doofus. So that's really what that was, man.
Okay. And actually, you know what? Let me see which video we got. Was it the succulents? No, is it succulent silhouettes or seasons change? Let's look at
change.
No. Succulent silhouettes.
Oh, okay.
Succulent silhouettes. Let's see that. That way we can juxtapose that against what
we're
you've
doing
done
now.
So I was like, well, we talking about, because I went to when you guys had the store, so you could actually see the quality of videos change, the I don't know, the overall feel of everything feels a lot different with Herd of Bison. So Exclusive Doofus, you say, okay, let me go ahead and let this go. And from that, is that where Herd of Bison grows out of?
Exactly, man. It's really just, it rooted from that. And like Exclusive Doofus, I mean, a Herd of Bison is like basically a product of all my failures in life, and then but more specifically with Exclusive Doofus.
Okay.
So that's what a Herd of Bison is. Like, it's basically just a product of everything in the past. Once that happened, this is what you get, a Herd of Bison right here.
How'd you come up with that phrase? Like, it sounds so random, but it's so like it's so deep. Like, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, a herd of bison, like a herd of anything, just being, like logistically sound. That was the aim from day one. Just needed to be logistically sound. I like the way that the bison move. I like how like powerful it is, how like subtle it is, but like it could turn up on you if it needs to, and we kind of do that with some of the pieces, like having like powerful like messages behind it, or or at least what we think is powerful. And so yeah, just a herd of anything, just being logistically sound. And if you see a herd of whatever it is, they're gonna move a certain type of way. They're gonna, handle things a certain type of way. Everybody's in sync, and that's kind of like how we operate with a Herd of Bison. Like behind the scenes, everything is just logistically sound and powerful. So a Herd of Bison being a powerful animal.
That makes sense, man. I mean, all your pieces, they are very standout pieces.
Appreciate
I have to admit, like even the jacket that you have on right now. That you can get online at herdofbison.com.
Sure. It's not that many.
Because this is celebrating too. I guess the other thing too is you are releasing kind of limited pieces, limited statement pieces at that.
Yeah.
There was the piece that you had with Gandhi on it. There was the piece, the Harriet Tubman and Dorothy from
Dorothy
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Like there are some pieces there that you have these releases that it's like, this is a piece that I'm releasing and it is saying something.
For sure.
So what are your thoughts? Like, I guess what's the creative process that kind of goes behind this? When you decide to release, what are your thoughts behind thinking? And then even some of, I think it was like the Dr. Sibby one, where it was like you have some ones where you're like, okay, like what makes you decide okay, this is what needs to be coming out, and this is how many I need to do, and all this stuff.
Right, yeah. So like the pieces, man, the art behind it, I just look at it like, like is it a void that needs to be filled, like, out there, right? Like I don't want to do something, I don't want to do the same thing, but most of the time it's a natural thing. So like I get a feel for like what needs to be surfaced, and then I just put it in the form of a garment, like I'm a hoodie, or whatever it is, whatever medium I feel like using. So those pieces, it's to educate, really, man. A lot of the things that that we release is like, I want you to be able to like wear it and have it be a conversation piece, but also like a timeless piece, right? So you wear something, and it's like, okay, what is that? Like, what does that mean? And then I also want you to like dig into it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna educate you a little bit. It's not boringly educating, but it's like it's at least from my perspective, it's fashionable, and it also has like some substance behind it. So the process is really just once I understand, like, okay, this is what I want to go with, and this is what the message is, and it usually comes like just naturally. Then I figure out the medium I want to use, and then we set a price. I don't set prices. I'm not even involved with that, like, at all. Like, I always tell people ask me like, yo, how much is this? I'm like, bro, I don't know. I really don't know my prices because I'm not concerned with that. And that was one of the things with Exclusive Doofus where I made that mistake, like trying to like juggle all of that, and I wasn't good at it because, for one, I was giving people shit, like, just here, and I never was making money. And my old lady was like, yo, like, I'm saying you did all that, like, where is the, like, what happened? Like, where's the money? It's like, oh, I know I had gave this to us. And it's cool to do that, but I didn't realize that wasn't my thing. Plus, because like I said, I'd rather just give it to you than like take your money. Like, and I know it's a business. I know people like it's cool with paying with stuff, but if it was up to me, everybody would get this shit and like just be happy with it.
Yeah.
So then we set the price, and I usually run it through like my wife and my stepmom, and then once they confirm that, then we just put it on the site, or we build an event around it and give people an experience.
That's what's up.
Now, I mean, even and I'll see if I can find the piece, but like in particular, I mean, the one that caught my eye was like, just so we can explain out one of your pieces, explain out the Harriet Tubman and Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz piece, because I thought that was just a thought. It's a piece of clothing that's gonna make you stop and look like, what's up? Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, most of the pieces, like, so if you look at the theme, or like if anything had to be consistently like identified with the Herd of Bison, is like we always take like the contrasting element of like things and just and then bringing them together and like in a way that people like wouldn't even like look at it like that. So a lot of those pieces that you name, like the split faces and all that's what that is. It's just bringing those two elements. So like with the Harriet Tubman and the Dorothy, and which was kind of controversial. Like, as soon as I posted that, I got some people that was like, yo, why are you putting Harriet Tubman next to a white woman and a fictional character? Like, what are you doing? And it's like, once I told the story, and they was like, I got you. Like, damn. All right, cool. Let me get one of them. But really, that basically was just looking at, you had Harriet Tubman leading the Underground Railroad, and then you had Dorothy on following the Yellow Brick Road, and they both, that's a fictional and non-fictional character, but they both had the same agenda, which is basically leading people to freedom and leading people to, well, Dorothy, freedom, those characters, freedom was already within themselves. So she was just making them, basically taking them to a place to like where they understood, like, hey, you're free, this is what you can do. And then Harriet Tubman, the real character, leading the slaves through the underground railroad to freedom. So we took both of those characters and I meshed it, and I'm not gonna lie, that was like a risky piece, because people that was like, and my wife, she was like, you sure you want to do that? Like, because with this type of stuff, if you do something the wrong way, like, people will look at that and be like, yo, they're gonna like basically associate you with that. But I think that's what fashion is, man. It's like, yo, it's like a statement piece, and then you give some history and you have something more than just a piece of clothing that you're wearing. It's like, yo, let's have a conversation about this.
And most of your split face pieces, I would say. I mean, the Harriet Tubman one, I just think about that one because I probably had that kind of same visceral reaction. Just be like, you see the picture and you're like, it's Harriet Tubman and Dorothy. But then you read it and it's like, yeah, when you're talking about, you know, Dorothy leading people, like even what you just said, their freedom was within themselves and helping them get out of that, and you're comparing it to the same thing. And it's like, once you get past, like, yes, I agree with you. This is a fictional character and this is a non-fictional. This was a story about a wizard and this is an actual woman leading people out of slavery. But you're still showing reverence to the woman. Like this is a story, and like the nature and everything that she had to go through. And it's like that's a deep piece, especially for a shirt. Yeah. like I said, that's a lot. And I said, it's one of those things. Are you ever, I guess, worried that people might be like, yo, I like that, but I don't know if I want to have that conversation every time I wear that shirt. Like, does that ever affect how you're creating your art?
No, it doesn't, man. Like, and again, the audience, like, I really want people to like understand this. Like, so like, I heard, and it's selfishly said, right? Like a herd of bison. The world, well, consumers, they buy it, right? And like, they wear it and stuff like that. That's cool. I love it, but it's really for myself. It's my way of. It's like a therapeutic way for me to just be able to function, man. So like all these pieces and everything that I do them like for myself first. Like, so I'm not really concerned about like if someone's gonna say this and that. Like, not to the point where I won't release it. Yeah. Like people that's in my ear that I cherish their opinion, they may delay that process. But if I want to get it out and it's because it's for me first, then I'm gonna release it. I never think about like what somebody's gonna say if they can't have a conversation. If you can't have a conversation, like, understand that the piece is not for you, and that's cool because there's a million other brands. You know what I'm saying? You can go to grab your Nike hoodie and be good. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's nothing wrong with that. It's just, but what a herd of bison is not that. It's not a Nike. It's not anything like that. It's something that's, and Nike is everything, by the way. But it's you know, it's a brand with substance. So I'm not really concerned about if someone be able to hold a conversation about it, because I always suggest that people, you know, do the research about the brand, and I usually give a good treatment of like marketing about what I'm gonna do before I even release it. So I may start like, you know, pubbing like certain things and give you like kind of educate you a little bit so that you'll be, you know, on the same track as me, like understanding where the piece came from. Or sometimes I won't even explain it, but most of the time, yeah.
Now, even with that, we're talking about coming up, you're boxing, which is a very technical sport, and you're also, I mean, this is work intensive, and then you also go into engineering, which is technical, very work intensive. What is this side piece of art, which I don't even want to call it a side piece, because it feels like I have to admit, even before, like, he brought up that you're an engineer, I did not know what you did, because I literally, like, this is a big piece of you. Does that art kind of balance things out for you?
100%, man. I mean, man, like I said, a herd of bison is for myself, you know. It's just so cool that people accept it and like accept the art into their lives and want to wear the garments. But I think if nobody bought a piece of a herd of bison, I would still do it, because it's for myself, and because, you know, every day, man, you just answering to everyone else, man. Like, you know, going to work, you know, it's not your business. You don't own. I mean, you're a worker, you know, and that's cool. Like, it's cool, but you don't really have any control over that. But like, to me, a herd of bison is like my own playground, and it's like I feel like I said, like I'm a demigod in like that world. Like, I could do like whatever I want, and no one could tell me what to do and what not to do. It's like, if I feel that, I release it, and that's what it is. So it's like I need that to be able to like work a 9 to 5 and deal with my family, and I got kids, man. You know, it's like if I don't have that, I might suffocate. It really feel like that.
I understand.
Yeah.
And I had issues like that, like in the beginning, like just with my wife. Like she didn't really understand like that treatment. Like I need that. And a lot of people like are like myself too. Like, you know, like you need that liberty to be able to like express yourself in a certain type of way. Otherwise, you just suffocate, man. And that's how I felt, and that's how I feel. So I need it, regardless of whether people buy it. I need to have that platform. To
Artistic expression.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
sure.
good thing.
So, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's definitely for. I mean, there are certain details in your pieces. I think one of the most eye-catching things about it, and keep it in mind, people that even watch this show know I pretty much wear a hoodie of some type every single time, so I'm not the fashion guy.
Yeah.
But I do notice certain things where you have a lot of, like, some of your jackets have a lot of the creativity on the inside
Man.
Sure.
of the jacket. And I don't know why, but that just always speaks to me. Like, I'm always like, yo, that's dope. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if nobody see it, but do you see, like, the inside, like, the way it's layered, the pictures and all that other
map,
kind of stuff? That stuff is
green
dope.
background
Like,
stuff.
that's what we like about it. But, yeah, it's that kind of stuff where I'm like, okay, this is definitely not just a... Because then if you're out and once people see this, and, like, the Houston one we out, which I love that jacket, like... and then when you see people out, especially once you like become familiar with the brand, you'll be surprised how many people you see out. Like, or you'll be on Instagram, you're like, yo, they got the Herd of Bison jacket. Yo, such and such got that hoodie. Yo, such and such, and it's like that's just kind of interesting. You feel like you're part of the herd.
For sure.
It's dope.
Yeah, it's really
Appreciate it. Yeah, the inside, and that's like just an added, layer to like the piece. It's like you take off a garment and put it down, but like you take off the jacket and it's like you sit it down and it's like, yo, you got a whole image.
Yes.
It's more to it than like, because like I said, we got so many options, man. We could go grab whatever, but with the Herd of Bison, man, it's beyond that initial like it keeps me warm type idea that you have when you look at a piece of clothing. It's like, all right, it keeps me warm. It covers me up, but also like check this out. What's on the front too? Like we can have a conversation about that. Oh, not that. We can still have a conversation about what's in the inside too. Like it's just more layers to it. That's it, really.
That's dope.
I mean, your clothes are very artistic. Even just watching you on reading about you, like you call it a streetwear brand. It looks like beyond streetwear. It looks like luxury brand.
Appreciate it.
But even with it being so artistic, are you into art?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
like what artist are you into? Because even looking at the aesthetics of your clothing, you have to be into art, given that you draw.
For sure, yeah. Different mediums, man. I'll paint a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Obviously drawing, music. I listen everything, man. Really,
Yeah,
I can't really say like it's
You did play the guitar. We talked about earlier.
Yeah, for sure.
Attempted.
I play, yeah. But I mean, that's something that once I get some free time, if I'm just in my room or something like that, and I pick it up and like kind of, But it's not something that I'm not an artist, man. Nah.
I mean, Susan Carroll taught herself.
I mean, not a guitar. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, Susan Carroll taught herself how to play the guitar.
Really?
So
Man.
hey, there's hope for
Yeah.
you.
When we interviewed her, she was like, "Oh yeah, I just bought a guitar.
Yeah.
Just started playing around with it and singing." I was like, "I thought you played the guitar
I thought
for
you
like
played it for
years."
years.
She's like, "No." She's like, "I don't even know everything about it yet. I'm still trying to learn as I go."
Hey,
but I mean, it speaks to people, so that's just how it is.
For sure.
So, what are your plans for like the brand Herd of Bison itself? I know you have you have an like the kind of speakeasy piece. So, okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about where you guys have come from and like where you're going now.
For sure. Yeah, man. So last year I partnered up with my homie LZ. He had a space called Noun, and I partnered up, basically got into the business with him in that space and to help run it and like just progress that space. So that's my business partner with that part of the space that we have. And then inside of that space, we have the Herd of Bison Speakeasy, which is I wouldn't even say it's a store. It's really like a vibe, man. You just come back there, and we have some special releases that we'll do, and it's only open like on Saturdays from like 11 to 6. Some exclusive pieces. So it's not like a store or anything like that, but you can come get you some whiskey, stuff like that. But it's really made for you to just come back there and just vibe out.
And where's this located?
It's in East downtown.
Okay. And what's it called again?
The Bison. Well, the front part is called Now, and then the other part that's in there is called the Bison Speakeasy.
Okay.
Conservation Hub. So, it's just a hub, man, for people to just come out and chill, like, and also for me to. I wanted to do something like beyond just like you purchasing something like online. You know, that was like I really don't like that, and people always get onto me and was like, man, why are you meeting up with this person to give them to her, just ship it to them? It's like, yo, if I can have that interaction with someone like face to face and like meet you and say, yo, I really appreciate you buying this, and I really appreciate you, you know, supporting the brand, and shake your hand and look you in the eye. That's way more valuable than like me shipping something to you and having a card in there saying like, hey, thanks for, you know, I don't really like that. So
Sure.
So I created the speakeasy so that people can kind of, you know, come through and like interact with me, man. There's so many cool people in Houston, like everybody's doing something dope. Like, come politic with me, like let's just hang out and like talk. Maybe you can get you some whiskey, you know, we feature like certain different whiskeys and stuff like that. But not only that, but just vibe out, meet cool people and stuff like that. So
Now, how do you juxtapose? Like, I mean, I know you were saying earlier, you got your wife, who I'm assuming this is a wife, and your stepmother that are helping out with the business end.
Yeah.
How do you juxtapose that against? Because you said, like, you're a fan of Nike.
for sure.
You like the art of Nike, you like that, and Nike is also a fan of the mass production and the making money. And I feel like they're from talking to you, there's kind of a this balance of, I'm making this clothing as art, which I want to sell, but I'm also making art, which I kind of want to give away. Just talk and hang out with people. So how do you balance out those two?
Well, it's fluid now. It's a machine now. So like the prices are set and all that, but it basically just took me understanding what I'm good at and letting people. A lot of people don't like to give up control, but like understanding like sometimes you do have to give up control and let people make some decisions for you. Like, it's okay to let people make a decision for you. That's fine. You still a boss, but understanding like, okay, look, I'm not good with this. Once this is set, this is gold, and this is what it's gonna be. And then you let you do the things that you're good at, which I'm just good at the creative part and all that. But the balance, man, is just the only way I think things work fluidly, so to speak, if everyone in that entity is maximizing their true talent, and the things that you're not that good at, you let that go, because that energy can be like focused on like, and since I've done that, the Herd of Bison just been fluid, man. I mean, you know, we don't have any outside investors or nothing like that. I mean, it's a small operation still. I'm not saying it's big, but it's an operation that, on a business aspect, it's just growing and like more opportunities. So many opportunities, not a crazy amount, but opportunities that I'm so excited for that I'll be wanting to speak about. But it's like, it's a time and place for it. It's cool, like, you know, it's like, but everything just I realized once I operated in that way, you know, the business grew and it's just growing from that point. Yeah.
Now, are you opposed to you growing into like a Nike-like entity where it's Herd of Bison is, you know, shipping all over the world and all that other kind of stuff? Or you know, because some artists are like, nah, I don't want to do that. Like, some artists are like, yo, I want to keep it in this pocket that I can control.
Yeah. No, I'm really not, man. The idea for Herd of Bison is for it to be like furniture in your life. Like, it's functional. Like we know that we need to sit in these chairs, right? We know that we need chairs to sit down. We don't really pay attention to them, but they're there, right? And that's how, like, I want Herd of Bison to be like just furniture in everyone's lives. Like, whichever, like right now it's fashion, but it could be, we may be doing furniture next year. You know what I'm saying? I just want it to just exist in everyone's life, like day-to-day lives. And the creative aspect doesn't stop with just fashion, like shoes, anything like that. Like, my mind is like beyond that. Like I look at everything in like that way. Like I look at whatever it is, like in a way, like okay, how can I tweak this? How can I, like that's just how it is. So yeah, like I wouldn't be opposed to like having the Herd of Bison be something big like Nike and like like a more commercial, but the integrity of it can't go away. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what most of these pieces are. There's a lot of integrity behind them, and I wouldn't compromise that for anybody, because if I do that, then I'm not being true to myself, and I'll probably just go crazy.
Okay.
So even if it did get as big as Nike, would you still release exclusive pieces as well?
For sure.
Yeah, because that's one of those things that you got there. Like, I'd be like, sold out. So I'm like, man.
Yeah. I get a lot of flack for that. Like, people's like, man, you didn't like just do another one. And
Bring back the moccasins.
Yeah, no. So the moccasins are there.
Okay.
It's a time and a place for it right now. I just feel like, if people want the moccasins, they know where to get them from. They know they can come to me and say, yo, I need that size, and I'll give it to you. But
Really?
yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you.
He wants some
Yeah,
moccasins.
for sure. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you, man.
You got to pay that price. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, I got you, man. But it's not, it's one of those things where it's like the exclusivity of it and like it being limited and stuff like that. That's like the identity of the brand. So like that will never go away.
Yeah.
And it helps. I'm not
really
gonna lie. I
does.
feel good when I'm like I can finally get one. You know what I mean? Like I've gotten a couple of pieces, and it's like, yo, like I'm gonna go down. They have the opening. I'm gonna pick up those pieces. I need to get
Exactly.
there early because I know
Get
they
this
only
jacket.
They only got a few of my size.
Yes.
So let me get mine before the other big guys show up.
Yep.
So I mean that's just kind of what it is. But once you got it, I also know I'm like nobody else gonna have this one. Like it's just what it is. So yeah, I see what it is, but it's just such an enjoyable brand. Like it really is.
So what are the future plans of A Herd of Bison?
Yeah, man. So this year we'll be in some stores. I'm not gonna say the names right now because, like, as we're like having this, we're talking about that. But we'll be in like a couple big stores in Houston. So that a lot of people love. So that and so they'll be carrying our stuff. Next month is about to go crazy. Like y'all thought that the pieces that we did in the past with the split faces and all that was like crazy, but I'm so excited about February, man, because like we don't really have Herd of Bison represents everybody. I've highlighted Indian, I've highlighted white people, I put Obama with JFK on the shirt, like so it's really like no limits. But Black History Month, man, like we got some pieces that's like nuts, and like I'm excited about that. Like I posted something the other day, I think yesterday, I was just like, damn, like, was it too early to post it? But I'm geeking because, like, I'm excited about these pieces. And, like, yeah, we going to really, like, make people look at things a different way come next month, man. But,
I like that, man.
consistent.
I like the vision, man. You are consistent. 2 years in. And y'all
Appreciate
feel like y'all been here longer, but everything that you drop is, like, mad. It's really dope.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since you have been here longer since you've been releasing, and I just like the fact of you saying like Herd of Bison is the culmination of all the mistakes that I've made. So, I know. Besides for that monetary aspect where you're saying I can't price, looking at if we got kids that are looking at kids, adults that are like, yo, I really would like to get into this. Like, I guess what's some other advice you can hand out, or just say, hey, like, learn from me, like, something.
Yeah, for sure, man. The first thing I would say is like, there's no such thing as an orthodox way. I mean, that's like all opinionated, right? So everybody got like different avenues in which they get to the goals that they have. So understand that the way that you think, you can streamline it any way that you want. And I like to tell people that, man, because a lot of people say like, you should do it this way, you got to do it this way. Man, nah, like you don't. But be true to yourself, man, and like don't compromise your integrity or whore out your talent. And like, don't do that. Like, to me, I feel like that's a big thing, man. Like a lot of people, just depend. Well, it depends on what the motive is. If you just want to make money and like that's your thing, then you might want to do the trendy things and stuff like that. And like a lot of there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're like a true artist and like you have passion behind every piece that you design or whatever it is, whatever you're doing, don't compromise your integrity or like whore out your talent. Be true to yourself, and like time it'll happen. I mean, you know, so you see some people. If you here's the 9 to 5 part of it. If you're looking at a trend, and you know you see certain brands is like the peak on the trend from, you know, the X and Y axis coming from the left. If you look at it, you know, it may make a lot of money here, like in the beginning because they're following the trend, and then like it's trendy, so it's gonna go down, you know. And a lot of people chase that, but if you stay true to yourself, maybe, you know, you may have just a consistent, like, moderate pace, but you have longevity and you have a product that's timeless, you know. And these it's not a trend, and you're there for a long time. So when we were celebrating the 2 year, it was like really telling people like, yo, like, we really appreciate y'all like really rocking with us for 2 years, because a lot of times, you know, somebody say, man, I want to do a brand, I'm doing this brand, and then it die out. And which I hate to see that, and I almost want to like call them and say, "Yo, man, release some more shit," because like, you know, you I love what you was doing, you know, but you can't do that all the time. But don't whore out your talent, man. You know, if it's for the money, then all right, cool. Just know that it's probably gonna be short lived, and you know, with that comes certain things. But yeah, just be diligent and just don't give up. Be consistent, man. That's what I would tell people.
Be consistent. That's good. Do what you do. It can't be unorthodox as long as it gets done.
For sure, man.
I like that. You have a good, positive mindset in everything that you're doing.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah,
like
I really
we've been
do.
trying to get you. We were gonna, like I said off camera, I said we were gonna, you know, we working on getting cameras come out. I was like, nah, we got to go ahead and get them down here now. Especially once I went up to the 2 year, I was like, yeah, we just got to go ahead and get you in the studio.
Because
like,
he agreed to do it last year.
I said I want people to hear your story, and I want more people exposed to actually seeing like the brand and seeing what you guys have to offer. Especially if you've got like, you know, more pieces coming out in Black History Month. Get people out. Sure. Get people to come out and see what you guys got.
For sure, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate platforms like this, man. You know, y'all highlighting people in the city. That's like awesome, man. And shit, it took a year and a half, but shit, if y'all would have hit me the first time you thought about it, I would have been here, man.
Oh yeah. You was open.
I was literally like, yo, we got to go ahead and get them all too, because I said every time I see him, I'm like, yo, we about to let's get the interview together. I was like, man, let's just go ahead and have you come down, and when we finally do get our cameras and stuff together, we want to come out and film y'all out and about, because I really want, and I will say this, like, people go to the website, people come out to the events, because I guess the limitation of having you in the studio is we've shown like some of the pieces, but you really can't experience what it is until you actually can go out and like I should really go out and see the work, like go see the art, see the hats, see the jackets, the hoodies, the shoe, like all the stuff coming together, and you usually put together a really good presentation. Of what it is you're trying to do.
It's like an art gallery.
Yeah.
It's an event.
That's what it is. It's an art gallery happening, and you get to take a piece home and wear it.
It's true.
So that's what it is. So yeah, we appreciate you coming out.
Hey man, thank y'all, man. Thank everybody, man. I'm just forever grateful, man. I'm always.
Now, real quick too, give them your information. Where can they find you?
Yes.
Yeah. On IG, a Herd of Bison, at a Herd of Bison. My personal is at Kareem Daay. KareemDaay at Kareem Daay, and www.herdofbison.com is the website. Yep.
And your Speakeasy once again.
Speakeasy is 2002 Reynolds, Houston, Texas. Come out Saturdays. Also come out to now too, man. We got a good program that we'll be progressing to with a lot of events going there. We'll be talking about that a little bit in the future, but. Yeah, come out, man, and just hang out, man. I like to see everybody, man. I hate talking through IG with people that I can't. I'm like, it's not tangible, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather just sit next to a person and chop it up and, you know, pick brains and like learn. You know, I like to listen. So
No, we appreciate you coming out.
We do appreciate you coming
thanks a
out.
bunch.
We appreciate. I mean, it's connecting the dots. Everybody messes with you. Dustin Prestige, Todd, Tubo, like
Homie said.
almost everybody who's been on this show.
Everybody kept coming up also wearing the clothes.
Yeah.
Like everybody kept
Less,
like, oh,
you
okay.
know, everybody
Like
has
say, even
it.
when
I'm
Jack
like,
was up here,
yeah.
everyone was like, "Where you get them shoes
Yeah.
from?"
That's what I was
It's
telling
like,
him.
"Oh,
I
my
said,
homeboy."
yeah.
We're like, yeah.
First time I heard of it, I was like, yeah, my brother, yeah, and Jack was like, you don't know? I was like, man, I'm late to the party. But it is what it is, man.
It's all
So
good, man.
once again, this is Carlton Banks, Carlton with a KBA and Triple X. Also there with Just Devon. Boom. And
He with this boom.
I like
You're not
it.
gonna get the boom.
I'm going to get the boom. We're going to get it right.
Okay.
It's new. We've been here with the founder of A Herd of Bison, Kareem Daay. Thank you for coming out, man.
Sure,
Follow
man.
the
My
herd,
pleasure.
man. Follow the herd. This is, in my humble opinion, where the opinions are humbled and the words aren't jumbled.
Follow the